let's begin talking about the materials we are going to use to make a snowman collage. So the first thing we need is a base piece of paper. This is a half of a 9 by 12 inch construction paper piece, and it's a good manageable size to get done in a decent amount of time. In addition, I have lots of scrap paper that is great when you save or have old paper that you're not really going to use for other projects. And then I also have some white, this is just like copier printer paper. So for the white, I've also already ripped up a bunch of pieces really small because we are not using any scissors to create this collage. So 100% torn paper. In addition to the paper, we have a few other things that are really important to have. One of those things is, of course, glue. So you can use a glue stick, but make sure it's a really good one that sticks really well. So this is a really good brand of glue stick. Or you can use liquid glue. Now, I do not recommend using the glue directly out of the bottle, especially with young students, because it can make big puddles. So instead, put that glue into a separate container like a cap or something like that, and then use a cotton swab or a small brush to apply it to your paper. So that's what we're going to do today, and that just controls the glue use a little bit. Later on, we're also going to use a hole punch. This is a fun extra that you don't have to do, but it is a really fun when you finish up. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is build the ground that the snowman is going to be on, our snow person. And since it's made out of snow, there should be snow on the ground, and that's what we're going to do. So at the bottom part of the paper here, we're going to start building up a pile of snow. If you were using a glue stick, you could do that. I'm going to put it aside because I'm going to use the liquid glue. And so that we don't have glue showing through, it's important to put the glue on the smaller piece, not the base. So on the piece that you want to stick to the base. So I've got my cotton swab, and I'm just dipping it into my glue. I don't need a lot, and I'm going to put it on the piece that I want to stick on, and then stick it down. And do that until I have as much snow as I feel is good to have on the ground. So here I go. I have a ground covering of white torn paper for snow, and I'm pressing it down. I want to make sure that no pieces are really curling up or peeling up. And it's okay, you can see that they're piled on top of each other. You might be wondering, why did I just rip a big piece? Well, when you rip a big piece, it kind of looks a little more flat. This gives it more of a look of like a pile of snow when it's little pieces. So it does make it look a little bit more visually interesting than just a big white piece that you've glued down on top of your paper. So there's my snow. I could go higher if I wanted to have it be a taller amount of snow, but I think this is good, and I want to build my snow person on top of it. So usually a snow person is made from 3 circles, a bigger circle on the bottom, a medium circle in the middle, and a smaller circle on top. Now, we are using torn paper. Torn paper might not have a perfect edge for a circle, so this is where it becomes a little challenging. And everybody can do it. It's challenging, but it's something that can be done. So let's start by building first the bottom circle, the bigger circle. Okay, so there is my bottom circle. So let's keep building our snow person. So I've got my bigger bottom snowball. Now I'm going to go for the middle one, which is going to be just a little bit smaller than this one. All right, I've got 2 parts down. Now it's for the top part, the head of the snowman. So same thing, except this one's going to be even smaller. So it goes big, medium, small. Okay, so now I've got my snowman built. I've got my 3 parts, big, medium, and little, but I want to take a really close look to see if there are any places where I see the blue of the paper showing through that I maybe want to put an extra piece of paper. So I'm going to look closely at that right now and then add paper anywhere that I think that there is blue showing through. So very carefully, and at the same time I'm looking to see if any pieces are peeling up, if they need a little extra bit of glue to hold them down, because sometimes maybe the glue doesn't get on the edge of the paper and it peels up. So we're going to try to make sure everything is stuck down really well. Now for the really fun part. This is where we get to give our snow person some personality. So we want to add all the details like eyes and nose and mouth, buttons, maybe scarf, arms, maybe mittens, hat of some sort, or earmuffs. So this is where we're going to use all different colors of scrap paper to add some of these details. So I'm going to start first with the black, and I'm going to add the eyes and the mouth and some buttons. So to do that, I need to be aware that I want to make the eyes kind of roundish, but I'm tearing the paper, so it might not be perfect. So I'm going to put them without gluing them first, because I want to try to make them the same size, and I might need to do some fine tuning here and just rip a little bit more and get them to the shape I want. And then if I rip it too much, maybe I'm going to move it, to a different part. And now if I like where I've put them, I can start gluing them down. So I'm going to pick them up. And I can use the other end of the cotton swab, because if it gets kind of gunky, you can switch to the other side. All right, so now I'm going to switch to brown, because I want to give my snow person some arms that look kind of like branches. And again, I'm ripping the paper, so they might not be perfect, but that's okay. So I'm going to rip and try to rip long pieces this time, because branches are long. And let's see, I've got eyes, I've got a mouth, I've got buttons. Oh, I need a nose. So a nose for snow person is usually a carrot. Carrots are usually orange, so I've got some orange paper here. And I'm just going to rip and try to make a piece that I think will be good for a nose. So let's see if I can make more of like a carrot shape here. Here we go. All right, that will work. And the reason we glue the carrot nose on after the eyes and the mouth is because sometimes, just like in mine, the nose might go and cover a part of the mouth, go on top of it. So that way we have it in the right order. Okay, let's see. That's a pretty basic snow person, but I think I could add some more fun colors and fun things. So let me decide on some really nice colors. I think I'm going to make a scarf, and I'm going to make my scarf purple and pink. So I want to rip some pieces. Oh, that looks like a good piece. All right, like that. And maybe there's also part of it that's pink. So I want to put it down first, make sure I like it. And then if I like it, I can glue it down. So I think that looks pretty good. And now I can decide, do I want my snow person to have earmuffs or a hat or a top hat? All kinds of things that I could do. So I think I'm going to give my snow person a red and maybe purple hat, so it kind of matches. And I can do the same thing. I could add some mittens if I wanted to on top of the arms, but I think I'm going to stop there. Now you could always add mittens to your own snowman or snow woman or snow person. Now let's bring out our optional special tool, our hole punch. Now some hole punches have a little thing that catches all the loose paper like this one. Some don't. So if yours has this little catch thing, all your pieces are going to get caught inside and you're going to have to open it up, like open its mouth and go, oh, dump them out. So let's make some fun details. So I have some more white paper and I'm going to make snowflakes. So we're going to just punch a bunch of little holes and each hole is a snowflake. I think that's probably enough. So this one has the little catch, so I'm going to dump out my snowflakes. There they are. Okay, now these are really tiny, so this is going to be a little different than what we've been doing. We are actually going to put the glue on the blue instead of on the white. So we're going to take a little bit of glue on our cotton swab, and anywhere we want a snowflake, we're just going to make a dot with the glue. Just a little dot. And then we're going to pick up one of our hole punches and put it on top of where we put that dot. And there is your fun collage snowman.